How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, how many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Yes, how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And yes, how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, how many ears must one man have before he can hear the people cry? Yes, how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Thank you. Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Good morning to all of our friends joining us on the live stream. We end our February worship series focused on curiosity by looking at the concept of a shared common good and how to put our values to work in the service of others. And here at Throop, deepening connections is one of our goals. We have 2 ways for you to practice that deepening of connection this coming week. One is directly after worship today, we will be preparing sack lunches for the Friends Indeed Street Outreach team. We'd love you to stay and help with that. It's just through the doors at the back of the sanctuary in Throop Hall. And the second way for you to stay connected in the coming week is the launch of our new Throop hiking group. Yay! Thank you. No, it's so exciting, a Throop hiking group. Yes, Fillory is coordinating it. Thank you, Fillory. And if you want to know more, if you would like to sign up for next Saturday's hike, Fillory will have a clipboard for hiking. Fillory's got a clipboard for social hour. Fillory's got a clipboard for meditation group. Fillory's got a whole array of clipboards, all full of ways for you to connect more deeply here at Throop. Thank you, Fillory. And next Sunday, our liturgical calendar shifts into the spring season. And the first Sunday in March is when we have our first fruit ceremony. We gather not in here, but we gather around tables in Throop Hall as we celebrate the cycle of the spring season. If you're new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch. There's a card in the back of the pew that you can fill out and hand to an usher later in worship. And each Sunday, we're reminded that each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, We light our chalice with a flame from our candles of prayer and healing. Let us give thanks for the bright morning light, for the warmth of friendship, for opportunities to help others, and to welcome help when it is needed. Life is a gift. May we celebrate and appreciate this enduring truth. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our heart.
And as we continue gathering together, our opening hymn is For All That Is Our Life. It's number 128 in the Great Hymnal. And I invite you all to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 128.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks.
For all that is our life. Take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into worship.
For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and praise. For all that is alive, for all that is alive, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
One type of fruit tree beginning to blossom is the avocado. A single tree can produce up to 1 million small greenish yellow flowers. These tiny flowers open twice each day, once as a female receiving pollen and later as a male releasing pollen. Out of all those flowers, only a small number, 1 to 2%, turn into fruit. Some people think of the avocado tree blossoming and pollination as divine timing, since a lot of factors need to line up correctly in order for fruit to set. This week, look for avocado blossoms in your neighborhood. Trees are filled with them, and when you notice them, let them be a reminder to have patience with yourself and trust in the process of your ongoing spiritual growth and formation. We share our Throop promise to our planet. The words are in your order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes worshipped by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. Our wisdom from our Unitarian Universalist tradition is the task of the religious community, number 580 in your gray hymnal if you'd like to read along. It's a passage from Mark Morrison Reed. He has served in co-ministry positions with his wife, written many books on UU history, including Black Pioneers in a White Denomination, and was one of Reverend Tara's seminary professors. He received the Award of Distinguished Service to the Cause of Unitarian Universalism in 2019. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and in the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone, our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that needs to be done. Together, our vision widens, and our strength is renewed.
Thank you. This morning, Throop players will come up and share a story called The Bundle of Sticks.
An aging farmer could not stop thinking about the well-being of their family. Their 3 children could not get along. They fought day and night. What would happen to them? They'd try teaching them the important lessons of forgiving, forgetting, and living in peace. Farmer teaching.
Oh.
Farmer teaches. Children keep fighting. But clearly, they were not listening because they grew more and more cantankerous with each passing day. As they fretted about their children, they thought about the lessons they learned each day from their garden and their farm. They had an idea. They asked their 3 children to come to them, and they brought them a bundle of sticks.
I want you to break this bundle in 2.
The first child tried. Then the second. Then the third. No matter how hard they tried, they could not break the bundle of sticks.
Now, untie it. Each of you take 1 stick and try to break it.
The sticks broke easily in the hands of each of the 3 children.
You are like these sticks. If you stay together, no one and no thing will be able to harm you. But if you fight and divide yourselves, your enemies will destroy you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, are there times in your own life that you were able to stick close together to friends or family or coworkers and work together toward a common cause? Yes, awesome, good. And have you had times when you felt really disconnected or mad at friends or family? Yeah, and how did that feel? It feels terrible. It keeps me up at night. Oh my gosh, I can't sleep. I can't think about all the things I'm supposed to do. Well, in our Kids Dig In program, one of the things we do is teach peacefulness when throwing paper airplanes around a room, and to use a spirit of cooperation to mend any differences. We have a practice of singing the children into the program. Those lyrics are in the order of service. Faith, thank you so much for being with our children today.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
And our second reading this morning is I Too Am Beautiful, written by Kristen Harper. Kristen Harper is a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. She is only the second woman of African descent to be called into the position of senior minister in one of our congregations. My inner spirit wrote, I have spent my life watching you, seeing your accomplishments, living the way I think you want me to. I have watched the way you move and the way you talk. I have listened to your story. I have learned your history. I have sat patiently as you explained your politics, your religion, your philosophy of life. I have walked with you on a journey of faith, waiting for my turn to share, to explain, to lead. Look at me. I am black and you are white, but I too am beautiful. Look at my face, my hair, my clothes. They may be different, but aren't they worthy of your gaze? Look at my walk, the way my hips sway to the music in my soul, the way my proud neck tilts toward the sun. Yes, look at me. Look at my darkness. It contains light and love, rebirth and growth. Look at my pain. Don't turn away. Look at the way you see me. I am human. I have tears and fears. I have laughter and joy. Look at me and walk with me. I, too, am beautiful.
I've played the teacher, the preacher, guru, maintaining posture, separating me and you, as if the thoughts of God were mine and mine to speak. I've listened with an agenda so I could prove all of the I believe to be true, just to hide the fear of being weak. Burn the scorecards, balance out the scales. We are one wind, distracted by our different sails. Underneath what's detectable with eyes, every particle's vibrating with the same life. If we keep running around deciding who's right and wrong, then tell me, where are we headed? How can we all belong when our logic is colliding and it's constantly dividing me from you? So damn those eager process stations on your tongue. Shut your brain up long enough to hear the lowly hum. Underneath what's detectable with eyes, every particle's vibrating with the one life. Beyond the land of the right, the land of the wrong, there's a field waiting for us. All the notions of you, the notions of me, we finally agree don't mean a thing. Beyond the land of the right, the land of the wrong, there's a field waiting for us. All the notions of you, the notions of me, we finally agree don't mean a thing. Burn the scorecards, balance out the scales. We are one wind, distracted by our different sails. Underneath what's detectable with eyes, Every particle's vibrating with the one life. So damn those eager protestations on your tongue. Shut your brain up long enough to hear the lowly hum. Underneath what's detectable with eyes, every particle's vibrating with the one life.
This church is our church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. Once a month, on the fourth Sunday, we share our offering plate with a community organization that is doing work far beyond what we can do alone. Today, we share our offering with Day One. Day One believes in building vibrant, healthy cities by advancing public health, empowering youth, and igniting change. Day One shows up in so many ways. Here are just a few: advocating for clean energy, promoting car-free transportation choices, engaging in environmental justice, and offering life skills training for low-income families. Day One is driven by the knowledge that each person really can make a difference. Please be generous when making your donation today, and be as clear as possible with your donation, so that way we know if you mean your gift should go to Day One, or if your donation should count toward your pledge. You can give online, the directions are in your order of worship, or you can place your gift in the offering plate. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. I'd like to thank Spencer on live stream, Teresa and Chris for serving as greeters and usher, Matthew for serving as our worship associate, Faith with the children's program, our Throop players for bringing our story to life today, Tom coordinating our coffee and conversation hour after worship, Allegra and the social justice ministry team for coordinating our sack lunches for Friends Indeed, local bakery ID Eclair for donating beautiful pastries this morning, Malcolm, choir on your always inspiring music, and Jessica for all of her administrative support. As we pause in recognition for all the ways we support our Throop community life, I invite you to share the words of gratitude that you'll find in the order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share. And holding that space of gratitude, gently turn to our centering hymn. It's number 323 in the gray hymnal, Break Not the Circle.
Break not the circle of enabling people grow forgiven and forgiving. Break not that circle, make it wider still, till it includes, embraces all the living. Come wonder at this love that comes to life, where words of freedom are with humor spoken, and people keep no score of wrong and guilt, but will that human bonds remain unbroken. Come join the movement of the love that frees, till people of whatever race or nation will truly be themselves, stand on their feet, see eye to eye with laughter and elation.
And still holding that sense of gratitude in your heart and mind, I invite you to take a gentle breath in and to exhale. To take a breath in and exhale. And in this moment, to feel yourself connected in with this community of seekers and gigglers on the front pew. Some of you able to see our dog Maggie showing us exactly what it is to relax in the moment of prayer and meditation. Breath of life and breath of love in the midst of weeks that have brought us so many things to hold and bear and process and grieve and be angry about. You find us here in this moment appreciating silence, connection, reminders that part of our work in the world is to slowly blossom and unfold just as the trees are doing in our neighborhoods. We ask that we're helped in our search to find places in ourselves, in our neighborhoods, in our wider communities where the circles have become so firm and so rigid, rather than providing a wholesome and comfortable container of care that those boundaries are serving to keep people out. And imbue us with a sense of curiosity and groundedness, that we're able to really look at those places for some of us as if it is the first time, and begin to wonder how to soften the edges, of our own hearts, so we can see and understand beyond what is right there on the surface. May each one of us be held by a love that will not let us go. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Congregation, if you'd like to follow along, you can turn in your gray hymnals to number 159. This This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine.
Large slabs of concrete are placed side by side, seemingly unrelated. They mark an entrance to an art exhibit that's on display right now at the Museum of Contemporary Art in downtown LA. At first, when you go in, it's hard to tell what you're looking at, what they represent. At one end, there is a big lion's head looking fierce and growling with red paint on its chin. Thick chunks line up across the platform to the side of the lion's head. Wind and time wore away the original etchings and markings. Now, those etchings and markings more than a century old. Words and symbols from our time have been spray painted over those faded granite pieces. From the viewer's angle, you can make out spray painted words that say things like, as white supremacy crumbles, Black trans women do better, love. The exhibit is called Monuments, and it marks the recent movement to remove Confederate monuments from public spaces. Thank you for clapping in the back. The exhibit juxtaposes actual Confederate monuments and a variety of artists' responses to those monuments. The exhibit is disturbing. Some of the pieces even feel threatening as you're viewing them. And they challenge the viewer to get curious. This month in worship, as we slowly come out of our winter season of rest and dormancy, we're stretching into the soon-to-be sunny, warm days of springtime. And you've been invited to reawaken your curiosity, to make space for ideas that you want to explore. And for those of you that like to read along, there's been a book I've encouraged you to read this month called Seek: How Curiosity Can Transform Your Life and Change the World. And we started the month by immersing ourselves in wisdom from the womanist tradition. And then we thought about how we ourselves can become curators of curiosity. Last Sunday, our intern minister, Nick, led us into widening divine curiosity. And then today, we're looking at how practicing deep curiosity can expand our vision for human connectedness. The past few years, I've been filled with grief. Grief over the erosion of a shared common good. Grief over our democracy that seems like it is constantly at risk of falling apart. And I know I'm not alone in those feelings. This morning we started worship by singing one of my all-time favorite hymns, For All That Is Our Life. We sang together this line, which is almost always on a loop in my mind. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. Knowing all life as a gift, building the common good. These two concepts are at the heart of my Unitarian Universalist faith. We hold an ethic of love at the center. That love calls us into action to build the common good. We put our faith to work in the world because all life is a gift and all creation deserves to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. One definition of shared common good is that it is a sum total of social conditions that allow people to thrive with public institutions that work for and benefit everybody. The common good honors connections and relationships. It reminds us we're not individuals going it alone, but that we're members of a larger community. A commitment to the common good for all of us includes an appreciation of the uniqueness of each one of us, each one of you that celebrates all of who you are, that sees you and says yes. It says, yes, you too, right there. You, the one with pain. You, the one filled with laughter and joy. You too are human in all of your beautiful, messy, human complexity. Yes, you too are beautiful. And then I think about those broken concrete slabs at the museum. I think about growing up in the South, the truths that weren't actually truths. I was told as a child about the reasons for the Civil War, the outcomes of the Civil War, the meaning behind slogans that were said regularly without much thought. As a child and a teen, I spent almost every Saturday shopping on Main Street with my mom. And in the middle of Main Street, at the entrance of the old county courthouse, where they still house county government offices, there is a large Confederate monument that still is right there at the entrance. It's a large, multi-tiered castle design that was installed in 1907. The top of the monument has a Confederate flag etched in it with the initials CSA. And then the bottom panel has wording that dedicates the monument in memory of the sons who served in the Confederate Army, their mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, who, with patriotic devotion, remain steadfast to the cause. Just so you know, this government building also has a sign directly on the public-facing side of it that says, "Let's go to church Sunday, religion will help." Now that's a totally different sermon, but I just want you to kind of see the whole picture of what's going on there. And then there's a small sign in front of the Confederate monument that lets passersby know that this was placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the United States Department of the Interior on May 3rd. Anyone want to hazard a guess what year it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places? Oh, good, okay. I love that you're sitting right there and saying that. Just so you could hear, Jack guessed 2025. That is incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess? 1950, 1958, 1996. 1996, they're putting those things on a historic register. And I'm describing this towering monument to you because I passed by it almost weekly growing up without ever really seeing it. It was just there. I don't remember, no one in my family at least ever questioned why it's there. I noticed it a couple of years ago when I was visiting my son, and I was shocked to see it there without any contextualization. This one doesn't have any red spray paint on it, no protesters outside on the sidewalk. And by being just a part of the accepted landscape, I think it must in some way normalize this history. There's just words that praise the patriotic devotion and steadfastness to the cause of white supremacy. That cause was driven by the need to enshrine into law the worst of human nature, to make slavery legal forever and always. That was an integral part of that Constitution. A determination that only those with white skin are beautiful and fully human and worthy of respect and dignity. And that was not part of the story I was told growing up. They leave that part out. This particular statue, like so many others, was created and put up long after the end of the Civil War. In this case, 42 years after, 11 years after Plessy versus Ferguson made segregation legal. They put it up all over, not just in that county, but counties in our state of California as well. For all, life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. And this is what my faith tells me. Day after day, week after week, in the midst of sorrow and disappointment, celebration and joy, this is my home, the country where my heart is. I believe in blue skies and sunlight beams, a place where hearts beat with hopes and dreams. I want to believe that we will create a song of peace for lands afar and ours. I want to believe in a day when we'll join hands and topple over monuments of white supremacy and heterosexism and ableism and transphobia and all the other ways we dehumanize and otherize and set people apart and say, you're different. All of us have a role to play in building the common good. Yours right now might be that you are buying groceries for neighbors who are too scared to go to the supermarket because they're afraid of being detained. Yours might be organizing a book group because you know that when people learn about issues, they get fired up and want to make a change. Yours might be setting up a local gift economy so friends can practice reciprocity outside of the consumer system. And yours might be, hey, inviting friends to join you at the next protest because they need to remember that we are stronger always together. And for me, I keep coming back to asking myself, how can I practice deep curiosity with people who think differently than I do? With people who are moving by those monuments still erected in their hometown, walking by without ever looking and wondering, why in the world is that still there today in 2025? 26. Oh my Lord, y'all. Where are we? Earlier, we heard from Mark Morrison Reed, Unitarian Universalist minister. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Surely there is some deeper connection that cuts through the political parties and the internet nonsense and false information, a connectedness that opens us up to actively work toward the flourishing of all people. So as I think about this, I ask myself, can I offer real space and grace? Can I listen with my whole being and offer my attention rather than my opinion? Can I continue to voice my values and live my values in ways that offer people a way in rather than drawing a tighter circle that leaves people on the outside? And can I do this in a way that acknowledges real harm and also looks for ways to repair that real harm and that damaged relationship? That to me is work that we are all gonna have to figure some way into so we can build that better world. I think about those broken pieces of granite that I saw at the museum exhibit, symbols of a world that never should have been. And I remember those words newly painted on the surface. As white supremacy crumbles, Black trans women do better, love. These words promise a future that one day, yes, will be, and let our commitment to that future call each of us on our way. Let's sing into that commitment. Number 1028 in the teal hymnal, Fire of Commitment, and I invite you all to rise and sing out as your body and spirit allow.
From the night of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living brings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, then our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way. When we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice lived by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
And take the hand or shoulder of someone near you. Our chalice and our candles of hope and healing are extinguished. We carry their light with us. And may the light from this community fill your lives with a sense of compassion, hope, beauty, and laughter. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be.